Notes, my goats. Notes, my goats. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Notes My Goats podcast. I am Brandon.
And I'm Steve.
What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, I am doing pretty good.
Good.
Just got back from going to see Newfound Glory's acoustic tour in Chicago.
Oh my gosh.
I
I'm
was
sure it was awesome.
dude, I can't. We recorded this prior to this, guys, so I can't. We're not that good to do it same day. But
Right.
we are going to do Newfound Glory's new album, Make the Most of It, in April,
Yeah.
in a couple weeks. But they're doing a full acoustic tour across the U.S. right now, and it's my wife's favorite band.
Yeah.
This album is really good, guys.
Oh, I
Um,
can imagine.
it's fantastic. So it's a very emotional album, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And so that's fun. We celebrated we, I guess post celebrated one of our 15-year-old's birthday. Rye's birthday is
Nice.
every single one of our kids when they turn 15, because they were all adopted from foster care. We do what we call a manzanera, where
Okay.
they do a cake smash like a 1-year-old, because we never saw them do that, and
Yeah.
then they get to pick a trip with mom and dad to go somewhere. And Rye picked Chicago, so
I like it.
we went to a concert. We're doing ghost tour, something silly, just hanging out in the city for a couple of
Nice.
days during a pre-spring break thing. So
I like
should
it.
be fun. I'm hoping we get good weather. I'm hoping it's not stupid cold right now.
Yeah. I mean, probably not. I mean, it could be, but you never know.
The
You
one
never
weekend I'm
know.
gonna be away in the north during the winter, and it's gonna be dumb cold, I bet you. But
Probably.
it's okay. I'll take it. I'll be in Chicago. I'll be having fun, eating some pizza, doing some stupid shit,
Absolutely.
and having a good
Absolutely.
time. So it is going good. How are you, dude?
Man, I'm good. I can't really complain too much. When this album episode drops, I am actually Rachel and I are leaving on a trip ish to Arizona for a few days for a family wedding. So we are just, gonna enjoy some sunshine in Arizona, hopefully, and bring it back, hopefully. So that's the plan. But yeah, that's kind of what is going on with us right now, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Hello.
Absolutely. Go check out last week. Last week was a very fun week.
Yeah.
It was a fun week. Why, Steve? There were 3 episodes that week.
There
What?
were 3 episodes that week.
What? 3 episodes? Ugh, why were there three? Because, guys, we can do what we want. So, but
Gluttons for
today, Steve,
punishment.
huh?
Gluttons for punishment.
You are, because I'm guaranteeing at this point I won that second draft. I am 2-0 on drafts, would be my guess.
You're a jerk.
I am just very competitive, is what it is.
You're not. You're not wrong.
I'm very competitive. I was editing that episode not too long ago, and clearly before it came out, and I realized I am a very competitive person, especially when it comes to tracks that I give zero shits about. Um,
Right?
exactly, but yet
You're
I
this
care
like
way
extra
too.
serious. You're like that like stage dad who's out there like, no, you do.
Absolutely. Yep,
You better
for
get
sure.
that.
So guys, check out episode 252. Last week, Thursday, we dropped that. And then check out the episode we did on Friday with Kayla, where we talked about Taylor Swift's Midnight's album that came out late last year. But
Yeah.
today, Steve, today, today is a very special day, Steve,
For you and I especially.
especially because I'm sure we're going to indulge in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Hopefully not in the way that Jason Biggs did, but it could. It depends on how the night goes with our wives. It kind of is how it is.
You're not wrong. Whatever suits your
I am,
fancy.
I am, I am making you blush and not know what to say. So, Steve,
Doesn't happen very often.
it is March 14, aka 3.14, aka Pi Day. So, what are we talking about today?
Dude, we decided, I think you decided, but we
I
decided together.
decided.
It's a
Yeah.
great thing. I saw it and I was like, that's a great idea. Decided that because it's Pi Day and we are nerds in more ways and shapes and form of that term,
Yeah.
that we are going to talk about the American Pie movie soundtrack. Number one, though,
Number
the
one.
first American Pie
Yeah.
movie soundtrack. So this is a pretty fun movie for us.
Yeah,
There is a local tie-in for us that I'll get into shortly.
absolutely.
Because it does kind of locally tie into our local community for this movie, which is kind
It
of fun.
does. Yeah, absolutely.
So now this came out in 1999.
It sure did.
So how old were you, Brandon?
I was 9.
Did you watch this when it came out?
Um, Mom, no, I did not. To YouTube?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I was in high school, so I definitely watched this.
Yeah.
With my
No,
mom.
I would watch it over. I watched it over at my friend's house.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Honestly,
mama,
I was probably like 11, honestly, but like, yeah,
when you saw it, but that's okay. That's
yeah.
fun.
I was not of formative age to be watching this movie. So,
Or you were.
or I was. Yeah, that's
Just
true.
depend, maybe you grew up fast. Those
Real
hard streets of
fast.
Wyoming.
Yep.
Um,
Thanksgiving was real weird that year.
that's going there
Quality
fast.
testing. I'm quality testing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pumpkin pie, the apple pie.
It's
Anyway,
making sure it's warm. That's all you're doing.
yeah, absolutely.
So American Pie was an American comedy from 1999, like I said, um, starring Jason Biggs, Sean William Scott, Eugene Levy, Tara Reid, Shannon Elizabeth, Mina Sovari, Natasha Lyonne, who's having a bit of a resurgence right now,
Mhm.
Allison Hannigan, um,
Him,
because
him.
there's a
Yep.
flute,
Oh, and the
Eddie
flute.
K. Thomas, oh Finch,
Yep.
and Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I can't even
Jennifer
do a J. I can't even
Coolidge.
do it. She's making. Speaking of resurgence, she's making a resurgence.
Jennifer Coolidge came out. If you guys aren't sure who Jennifer Coolidge is, you should. She's Stifler's mom. But
Yeah.
she actually came out and said that this movie franchise has allowed her to increase her body count by multiple thousands.
I'm not surprised.
She has increased her body count by multiple thousands of probably college age young men.
Oh, probably
You get
100%.
you get
To
some men,
literally say that they banged Stifler's mom.
and I would say it's this and also the Legally Blonde. I want a
Yeah.
hot dog real bad,
I want a hot dog real bad.
which is one of my favorite lines from any movie
Yeah.
ever. So yes,
It's the
so
Botox saying that line that does it
I
for me.
love Jennifer Coolidge. Now the movie was written by Adam Hertz. Adam Hertz is from East Grand Rapids, Michigan.
What?
Hop, skip, and a jump from where we live.
Absolutely.
Kind of not far from where Brandon grew up, actually.
Yeah, not
Um,
far at all.
it was directed by Chris and Paul Weitz. The story is about a group of high school seniors from East Great Falls, Michigan, jerks, who are
Yeah.
obsessed with sex and losing their virginity. Well, kind of works out
It
there.
probably sounds, you know, that's probably, that kind of sounds like that high school.
It does
I feel
actually.
like that, I feel like that high school very much related to that.
It
Anyway,
does.
whatever.
Any high school.
Yeah.
The movie did spawn 3 direct sequels in the
Mhm.
theaters and 5 other American Pie Presents that were direct to DVD movies.
Yeah.
So eight other movies came out of this one flick
That is
here.
insane. I've seen all of the American Pies. I haven't seen the spin-offs, but
Screenplay. I love Adam Hertz for this title of the screenplay. It was tentatively titled Untitled Teenage Sex Comedy that can be made for under $10 million that most readers will probably hate, but I think you will love.
great. I love it.
And it sold for $650,000.
There you go.
So he sold it for $650,000. Now, couple things. We all know Eugene Levy. We all love Eugene Levy. But did you know that Bill Murray was actually up for the role of Jim's dad?
Oh,
Yeah,
uh, I mean, I
I
could see
know.
why, but like,
No,
it doesn't work.
no.
It
He got
doesn't work.
no. Eugene was the perfect choice for Jim's dad. Now,
Absolutely.
who actually Eugene Levy hated the script. He hated it. Hated the script for American Pie. Did not like it at all. He insisted that he be able to improvise all of his lines.
Oh,
And he improvised about 95% of them. because he hated how Jim's dad was portrayed throughout the movie. He didn't like it at all. So he did almost
Interesting.
everything that you see in the movie just about is all Eugene Levy. It's
Which
him
makes sense
pretending
because
reading
he's a
the room and
comedic
doing his own thing.
actor and improv, and he's done improv acting and all sorts of stuff. So it
Most
makes
of
sense.
most of Schitt's Creek was improv, so it kind of
Oh,
makes sense.
absolutely.
So I thought that was fun. Now, another actor that was actually scheduled that was rumored to be running or potentially in this, Jonathan Taylor Thomas was in the running to play Jim before it went to Biggs. JTT.
That would have shifted the whole thing. The
There's
home
no way
improvement,
it could.
like
There's no way it could have been JTT playing Jim.
uh-uh. No. It just
It is
doesn't.
the awkward like no name actor to fuck a
Yeah.
pie.
If
Um,
American Pie was literally about a Thanksgiving dinner, then maybe, but
Not this though.
not this.
No.
No.
I love that they went with very unknown actors to play
At the time,
Jim.
absolutely.
Except for like Shannon Elizabeth and Tara Reid. People knew who they were. And like
Yeah.
Natasha Lyonne, people knew who Natasha Lyonne was, but a lot of the guys were almost all unknowns.
Right. Who
So
have now had decent careers. So
now I told you this thing sold for $650,000, right? The script sold for 650K.
yep.
How much do you think it made in the box office?
650K. I'm sure people saw it. I'm gonna say it may. I'm gonna yeah. Um, $440 million.
Nope. Four.
Does it start with a B?
No. 235 million worldwide,
Okay.
and then another 109 million in DVD and rental sales.
Wow.
Over $340 million it grossed.
Insane. That
I
is
mean, the
crazy
script
to
sold
me.
for $650, 650,000, and it
650
made
bucks.
yeah $650, 650,000, but then it went on to make over 340 million in sales after. I
Wow.
mean, that just gross. That's not after everybody's paid or anything, but still, that's why
Right.
it spawned 9 other flicks or 8 other flicks.
Yeah.
Um, and it was
Wow.
actually supposed to be a sleeper. It was supposed. They didn't think it was going to do much.
Right.
Like I said, he said it could be made for under $10 million, and I think they made it for under 10 million the
Oh,
first
I'm
one.
sure they did.
So, and it went on to just annihilate it. So, Rotten Tomatoes, though, um, the critics and the audiences agree. Where do you think they were at? Same number
Oh
though.
man. Same number?
It's not rotten.
Okay. Well, right. Okay. So it's fresh, which is above 70. Certified fresh is above
Mm-mm.
90, right?
Fresh is above 55.
Above 55. 68%.
Not bad. 61.
Okay.
61%. So that was our Spotify-esque game for soundtrack. They
Yeah.
got for Tom Hanks. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Now the soundtrack was 13 songs, 46 minutes long. It
Yep.
did peak at number 50 on the Billboard 200. Features tracks by Blink 182, who also cameoed in the film,
Mhm.
Tonic, Sugar Ray, Third Eye Blind, Goldfinger, and many, many others.
Mhm.
Now, there were several songs that did not make this. Now, there's a few of them that I understand why, but Celebrity Skin by Hole was on here.
Oh.
Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel was on here. Good old Stifler's mom. 1 Week by the Barenaked Ladies. Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger. And the one I can't believe it didn't make it. There's a couple other ones. But this one I can't believe. Marvin Gaye's "How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You" didn't get included in the
Oh,
soundtrack.
you would think that
Simple
that's such a
Minds.
popular track.
Yep, Simple Minds. Don't You Forget About Me, and then Etta James' song "At Last" when Jim does the deed.
Yeah.
But all those songs are amazing songs. They didn't make the soundtrack. I think I know why. We'll get into that in a little bit later.
Okay.
But it's there. Now, two more quick things before we get into our favorites here. The soundtrack did sell over 500,000 albums.
Mhm.
So 500,000 albums were sold. In the top 3 Spotify tracks. The top 3 Spotify tracks were number 1 was Sway by Bic Runga,
Okay.
54.5 million
Yeah.
streams.
Yeah.
Mutt Blink-182 is 41.5, and You Wanted More by Tonic is 11.4 million streams.
Wow.
So not bad. I mean,
No.
even the songs they picked were good. They just
Yeah.
pretty popular here. So Brandon,
Steve,
I got through all my stuff. What was your favorite track?
I picked the song "Wishin'" by the Loose Nuts as my
Really?
favorite. Yeah, I did. The thing that I really liked about this track, honestly, was the canned brass that dominated this song throughout. I'm a sucker for canned brass. Um, I'm also a
Canned brass,
sucker
I
for
tell you.
canned chicken, but whatever. Um,
Gross.
it's it started out with a heavy guitar vibe, but then after about 6 or 8 bars in, the brass came in, makes their presence known, which just to me is super fun. And then there's that sax solo. You can never go wrong with sax, especially in this movie.
Big sax
Um,
fan.
big sax fan. So that one for me, "Wishing" by the Loose Nuts, uh, was my favorite track. What about you?
You just want to say the loose nuts in the
I
end as many
really
times as you
did.
could.
Let's be honest.
I like it. My favorite track was Mutt by Blink-182.
Yeah, it's a good track.
Loved. This is probably my second favorite Blink-182 song, right behind "Damn It." Um, it was voted the ninth
Yeah.
best Blink-182 song by fans in 2016. Mutt was.
Okay.
Um, and I think for the scene that it's in, it's the best song they could have probably picked for
Yeah.
what they could afford, more than likely. Um, if there was ever a movie that Blink-182 was made for, it was American Pie, and the cameo was perfect.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm not even sure why I like the song because it's really about a couple that's really into sex.
Yeah.
It's but it's super catchy. I love the breakdown in the middle of the song. I love that like fun Blink vibe that they still kind of had. This is like Dude Ranch esque era.
Hmm.
So before they got super big, um, and they could afford them.
Right.
But so it's before kind of what's my age again and whatnot. So
Yep.
I like that version of Blink better than the popular version, I think.
Hmm.
So I think that's probably why I liked it. But I love the track and I love I love that scene. And if you saw our TikTok or Facebook reel, um, I used that song and that scene to help promote this. So
There you
you're
go.
welcome for that, by the way.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Steve.
So it is time for the American Wang Pie.
Let's play wine. Let's play wine. Word association and game.
All right, Brandon. So I picked 2
Yep.
tracks from here.
Yep.
And if you guys aren't familiar with this game, how this works is the person running the game, me today, picks 2 songs and they give a clue as to what the song title they're trying to get is. It could be a word association based on the song lyrics. It could be just a clue, whatever they think is going to be funny. That's
Yep.
usually what I do. But and then it's Brandon's job to pick out what song I'm talking about. First
Yep.
one, Brandon. Me after 2 drinks.
Super down.
No, but not a bad thing.
Sway.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like that. I like
100%.
that. Yeah.
Little sway in there.
There's a little sway.
Little
Absolutely.
sway.
Yeah.
All right. Now my second one. It's pretty. I was pretty happy with this one.
Okay.
They didn't have to look up their names either. It was actually pretty nice.
Oh.
All right. Max Greenfield and Jake Johnson.
Yeah, New Girl.
There it is.
Nailed it.
I knew it was gonna be. I thought it was an easy one for you.
Easy.
Yeah.
Teed it up. That was perfect.
I like
Perfect.
it. So
Perfect.
Max Greenfield and Jake Johnson is New Girl, guys.
Yep.
All right, so that means we get to get it quickly here, get into our least favorite tracks.
Absolutely.
Now, this is a compilation album. There's gonna have to at least be one that you didn't like.
Yeah. I picked one.
What'd you get?
I picked "Good Morning Baby" by Dan Wilson and Bic Runga.
Me too.
Really? Okay, so here's my thoughts on it. I just really thought that all of the tracks on this album, this one was the most undesirable. I listened to it and like enough to get my notes for this review, but I did find myself skipping this track more often than I actually listened to it. I think the vocals on it are just weird and just not a fan. Just not a fan. So that was pretty much it. So what else do you have?
Same, really. It really sounds like the two singers were singing the song at the same exact time, but at different places.
Yeah, and
And
a
the
different
sound
like
engineer,
cadence weird. It was yeah.
well, the sound engineer just like slapped those together and was like, "This is a hit. Let's go."
Yeah.
And my biggest thing of it is I could have gone with either Big Runga song. I didn't like either one,
Yeah.
but um, I didn't remember where this song was in the movie, and I
Yeah.
had to like go and find the scene so I could figure out where it was in the movie. And apparently, it's where Mina Suvari visits Chris Klein at the hot dog place while
Oh.
he is singing "How Sweet It Is" when she's outside the hot dog place and watching him like be a
Yes.
fool.
Yeah.
This is what's playing in the background during that scene. So if you didn't
Oh.
know that, now you know. When he
The
was
more you
working at
know.
Yesterdog, which is not Yesterdog, but it was Yesterdog.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's their version of Yesterdog. You guys are familiar with Yesterdog and you're not in the West Michigan area, anytime you find yourself near Grand Rapids, make the trip to Yesterdog in East Grand Rapids. They're open until like 3 a.m. for a reason,
Yeah.
because it's fantastic if you're drunk.
Yeah.
And it's hot dogs, but it's really good, guys.
Gourmet hot
especially if you're
dogs.
hammered.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say gourmet
Relatively
hot dogs. It's mostly just hot dogs, but it's
That's true.
they're fan freaking tastic. They serve them on a pizza peel. It works out
Yeah.
pretty nicely.
Yeah.
So that was my least favorite, and yours was "Good Morning Baby" by Big Runga.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can't get any better than that. So, Steve, it's time for our next game. It is time for, I don't know, Shatner's Poetry Slam.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
This is Shatner's Poetry Slam.
All right, Steve. So, guys, this is the Shatner's Poetry Slam. And if you don't know what this game is, I have taken 2 tracks from this album and I'm going to read lyrics from them. And Steve has to try to figure out what track I am talking about based on the lyrics. Now, this could be a little bit difficult, Steve, because
Yeah,
it's a compilation album. So you kind of like it doesn't.
I gotta know all of these songs by all these different artists.
Yeah. So good luck to you. So here we go. I want a song title, the kind everybody wants, the kind that shouted out, and then we laugh it off. I'll be a terrorist if she'll be a looter. Eye of Fatima painted on her motor scooter, and she puts on eyeshadow, a deeper shade of blue. And then she gets in bed with you.
Super Down?
Nope. I want a song title. Who can show me how to have a good time and get
Vintage
close.
Queen?
What?
Vintage Queen?
Nope. And get closer to my life's design. In the darkness, candlelight across my face. I feel myself fall into grace, and she puts on eyeshadow. A deeper shade of blue.
Is
A
it Mutt?
deeper-
It's not Mutt.
Nope, a deeper shade of blue. I'll finish this part. And then she gets in bed with you. Man, sometimes I get the feeling so left out. And then I'm here again. I'm crying in my beer again. Loneliness closes down like a jail.
I have no
Anything?
idea.
Nothing?
No.
New Girl by Third Eye Blind.
Yeah. I need Elena to help me out with that one.
For sure. All right. Here is your next one, Steve. I am sick and I am down, stupefied and tragic. I'm a clown. Electric, omnipresence. I'm forced beneath the ground. Exotic, bleeding, toxic while I drown. Some might say I'm beautiful. Some might say I'm not. Song title. I'm feeling song title.
Super down.
Yep. 100% super down.
Some might say beautiful.
Exactly.
I have the
Oh,
ability
man.
to pull those clips. I'm just saying right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, Steve, it is time to get into that American Pie and go deep, and talk about those deep cut dark horse tracks. You go first because I did favorite and least favorite first.
I will. My deep cut was Vintage Queen by Goldfinger.
Okay.
So this track is amazing. It's a dark horse. Like this is a dark horse band of this album. They tucked this track away at the end of the soundtrack
Yeah.
on the actual movie. It could have easily been left off for one of those other songs that I mentioned before that didn't make the cut, but they kept it in. It's a fast-paced ska punk band from Southern California who brings it every single time.
Mhm.
I will eventually get one of their albums on this podcast. I might even try to bust out one of their greatest, even just the greatest hits to rock out some ska.
We haven't done a
Um,
greatest hits album in a long time.
we should, yeah. But if you aren't familiar with Goldfinger, check them out. This the song is just fun. It's a great way to end this movie and a great way to it's a great credit song. I will say
Yeah.
that 100%.
Absolutely.
Um, I loved every minute hearing this. And when I first saw that on there, I was just like, that's it. Picking that one somewhere
Yeah.
because I love me some Goldfinger. So that was my deep cut was Vintage Queen by Goldfinger.
I like it. I like it. Mine, Steve, was Man with the Hex by the Atomic Fireballs.
The last song on the album.
Yeah. So this jazz swing track, so much fun to listen to. Just a track
Mhm.
that really will put a pep in your step. That low tenor baritone sound of the vocalist. This track is just great. And I really think it fits well with what this group puts out. So that one for me, Man with the Hex, Atomic Fireballs was my deep cut. Let's head into final thoughts on this one, Steve. This movie was pretty good and one that I did watch a lot in my teen years. I don't know if it was because I was a fan of like had a crush on like a celebrity crush on Tara Reid or Allison Hannigan. I don't know what it was, but you know, it's there.
Shannon
Um
Elizabeth.
Maybe. So this album is fine and has a good group of tracks. But in comparison to like other movie soundtracks, I don't think this one is one of the greats by any stretch, especially compilation soundtracks. It's a mashup of good, bad, and indifferent tracks, in my opinion. Nothing is really to write home about. I also wasn't a fan that I had to listen to this album partially through YouTube and partially through Amazon Music. So that part was annoying. I ended up just doing I wrote down like what tracks I had to watch from YouTube, and that's how I did that.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Still kind of annoying, and I did make that a part of my review because suck it. I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10.
I like it.
Yeah. So not awful. It's above 500.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, the movie is a true teenage coming of age classic. This came out when I was a sophomore in high school, so right in that time frame. Um, to celebrate Pi Day with a soundtrack made the most sense as long as we didn't go all in and really celebrate the way Jim did.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. The
Right.
fact that this is a movie franchise that has some local tie-ins for us is a bonus. American Pie 2 takes place in Grand Haven, which is about 45 minutes away from us.
Mhm.
And American Pie 3, American Wedding, takes place in Traverse City, which is just north of us in northern Michigan.
But they were
It's
they weren't filmed in Michigan though, were they?
no, the first two were filmed in California.
Okay.
The third one was partially filmed in Traverse City, and they actually did film part of American Pie 2 in Grand Haven.
Okay. Probably for like scenery aspect stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But they also had Stifler was in Traverse City. Like they filmed the Grand Traverse Resort up there in Traverse City.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like there was actually people seeing him in the Trans Am driving up and down the street to Traverse City.
Nice.
He was there for a while.
Yeah.
They did some filming in Traverse City for American Wedding.
Yeah.
But it is cool to watch the movies and get the references because you've seen those places before. So like movie wise, for me, it's a little bit of a hometown feel as well. Plus, it's fun.
Mhm.
The soundtrack is not bad for a low budget teen comedy. As I referenced before, this movie could be made for less than $10 million. You can tell that there was thought behind the music that was chosen. And even with the stuff they left out, and the reason for leaving the stuff out, I don't think they could afford it.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
I think they picked artists like Bic Runga, who was an up and comer, but from New Zealand, who people really hadn't heard of or heard very few of. The bigger pop audiences didn't know who she was.
Sure.
And like Tonic was kind of on their way out. They were a '90s band. Same thing with Third Eye Blind. They were a '90s band. They weren't. I mean, they were mid '90s. This was the late '90s. This is kind of a tail end of their stuff.
Right.
Goldfinger was up and comers. Blink was still kind of up and coming. They picked bands they took chances on them, did a good thing, and for the most part, I think it actually did work. For me at least, I
Okay.
gave it a 7 out of 10, so not far
Okay.
off from you. We're pretty much in the same spot.
Yeah.
I felt like it was fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Steve, that was American Pie soundtrack on this Tuesday.
hmm
Where can our friends find us on social media?
Oh, the kids can find us pretty much everywhere now. It seems like
Pretty
we are
much.
on Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Those are kind of the big major ones. We're on the little ones all too. Pretty much where you find podcasts, you'll find us now. Um,
Mhm.
Social media wise, we primarily are on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. TikTok is up and coming. As I've been saying that for a little while now. It's coming faster and more frenzied now. We're putting out at least a video a day, if not 2 to 3 videos a day, depending on the day. Um, and Facebook and Instagram are getting updates with reels and things like that pretty regularly as well. Trying to put out a lot more stuff for you guys. Clips of episodes, previous episodes, different fun music video things, lots of different stuff planned. I've taken on the role of video editing, so it's me throwing a lot of stuff out there. So if you have ideas for stuff, send them my way. I'm happy to talk to
Absolutely.
you. And the big push that we are doing right now is not Twitter because
Fuck Elon Musk.
thank you. It's actually YouTube. He doesn't own that one yet.
Right.
So we Bezos owns that. I'm pretty sure somebody Google. No, he's not Google. He's Amazon. Whatever. He's gonna own it eventually. So we do YouTube. We're doing YouTube now. Check out our YouTube channel. The Most Outs Podcast on YouTube. At the time of recording, we've got 5 or 6 podcasts recorded. That's the time this one drops on YouTube. I think we'll have 8 or 9 full episodes, if not more, depending on how busy I am,
Mhm.
and a whole bunch more clips. So probably up to like 15, 16 videos on there. So
Nice.
at least a good 7, 8 hours of content on YouTube alone.
Great.
So if you're looking for, our ugly mugs to talk to you, to actually look at us while we're talking to you,
Yeah.
check us out on there. We'd be happy to
There
chat
you
with you.
go.
But follow us on all those platforms. We are looking to do some live episodes shortly. We have to get our socials up to listeners so we can do these live episodes, either live on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. We need help with social media to do that, guys. So
Mhm.
how you help us: share the podcast, like the podcast, review the podcast, and tell your friends. All those things are free, and
Yep.
they help us out greatly. So if you can do any of those things, that's going to help us grow, and that's where we kind of need you guys to come in on. If you had fun listening to us talk about a teenage sex comedy or any other music we talk about, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a rating, give us a review. Anything you do helps us out, and we
Mhm.
appreciate it fully. But that being said, once again, thank you for listening today. This has been the American Pie movie soundtrack, #1 movie soundtrack. Um, I am Steve,
I'm Brandon.
and we will see you guys on Friday.
Bye, guys.
Notes, my goats. Notes, my goats.